Hey everyone, welcome back to The Growth Language, the show where we get honest about the way we think, the way we talk to ourselves, and the way we actually grow. I'm Elena Rose, and sitting across from me, as always, is Leo Carter.
Hey everyone, good to be here.
Leo, okay, so I have to tell you something. Last night, I was just sitting on my couch, scrolling Instagram, normal evening, nothing dramatic, and at some point, I just stopped. And I realized I'd gone from feeling totally fine to feeling weirdly low in like 20 minutes.
Without anything actually happening.
Without anything actually happening. My day was fine, but somehow after scrolling, I felt behind, like everyone had figured life out except me.
Oh, I know that feeling. That's such a specific kind of bad.
It is specific. It's not sadness exactly. It's more like inadequacy out of nowhere.
And the worst part is you created it yourself. Nothing was wrong until you picked up the phone.
I handed my mood over to an app.
And the thing is, it happens so quietly. You don't decide to feel bad. You just start scrolling and then 20 minutes later your brain has run some comparison software in the background and spat out a result. You're losing.
You're losing at life.
At a race you didn't even sign up for.
That's exactly it. And I want to talk about this today because I think a lot of people are experiencing this, like genuinely having their confidence chipped away by social media, and they don't even fully realize it's happening.
Because it's so normalized. It's just part of the routine now. Wake up, scroll, feel vaguely bad, carry on.
And we've accepted it as just how things are, but it doesn't have to be.
Can I say something that might sound a little blunt?
Please.
The life you're jealous of on Instagram probably doesn't exist.
Elena Rose. Expand on that.
Like, it's not that people are outright lying, it's that what you're seeing is so heavily filtered, so carefully selected, so curated. It's not a window into someone's life. It's a trailer. It's the best 60 seconds of their entire year, packaged to look effortless.
And you're watching the trailer and comparing it to your unedited footage.
Your raw, uncut, behind-the-scenes footage. That's not a fair comparison. That's not even close to a fair comparison.
It's like comparing your rehearsal to someone else's performance.
Yes, you're in rehearsal, messy, uncertain, figuring it out. And they're on stage, polished, lights on. Of course it looks different.
And here's the thing people forget. Everybody has a rehearsal. It just happens off-screen.
Completely off-screen. 100 failures before one success post. 10 hours of struggle before a 10-second reel.
Taking out a loan for a trip and posting living my best life.
Okay, that one's a very specific one.
I'm just saying it happens. People do that. And the person watching doesn't know that. They just see the beach and the cocktail and think, wow, her life.
And they feel bad about their own life, which is actually just normal, real, funded by their own money.
Responsibly funded.
Responsibly funded life versus aspirational debt. And somehow the debt version looks better on Instagram.
You know, I had a friend a few years back, and I mean her feed looked incredible. Always traveling, always at events, always put together. And I'll be honest, I used to feel that little sting when I'd see her posts, that why does her life look so much better than mine feeling?
Yeah.
And then I actually got to know her better, and she was going through one of the hardest periods of her life, genuinely struggling, financially, emotionally, and I had no idea, because the feed looked perfect.
And that's the thing. We know this intellectually. We've all heard, don't believe everything you see online, but it's abstract until it's someone you actually know personally.
Until it becomes real, it doesn't stick.
Right. When it's a stranger, you just take the image at face value. You fill in the gaps, and we almost always fill them in with, theirs is better than mine.
Which says more about us than about them, honestly.
It does, because if you felt genuinely secure in yourself, you could look at that same photo and think, oh nice, looks fun, and move on. The comparison is coming from inside.
The comparison is a symptom of insecurity, of self-doubt, of feeling like you're not enough where you are.
And Instagram didn't create that insecurity, but it gives it a stage to perform on like every 5 minutes.
Constant performance, constant opportunity to measure yourself.
And your brain will take every single opportunity.
Just draining in the background.
Draining in the background.
And the result is people sitting in their room, looking around at their actual life and thinking, what am I even doing? Why am I not further along?
When actually they might be doing great. They just can't see it because they've been measuring themselves against an impossibly curated standard.
And that's where the real damage is. Not just feeling bad for a moment, but actually stopping, losing motivation, thinking, why bother starting if I'm already so far behind?
The paralysis, yeah. When the gap looks too big, your brain says, don't even try.
When the gap isn't even real.
The gap isn't real. It's between your whole life and one edited image of someone else's.
You know what I think about when I think about this? Those overnight success stories. Someone blows up and everyone says, wow, they came out of nowhere. But if you actually look into it, they've been quietly working for 5, 6, 7 years.
Always. There's no such thing as overnight success. There's just success that you discovered overnight. The work was always there. You just didn't see it.
Because Instagram only shows the arrival, not the journey.
Never the journey. Or sometimes they show a curated version of the journey, my struggle era, which is also produced.
The produced struggle era.
The produced struggle era.
Okay, that's a bit much, but also not wrong.
I'm just saying, even the vulnerability is sometimes performed.
And that's fine. People can share what they want. But the person watching needs to stay aware. This is content. This is a version of someone's life they chose to show me. It is not their whole life.
Know what you're looking at. That's the whole thing, really.
Know what you're looking at. Okay, so I want to get into some actual things that help, because I know someone listening right now is nodding along and thinking, okay, I get it, but what do I do? Because don't compare yourself is the most useless advice.
Everyone knows that. Knowing it changes nothing.
0. So let's talk about what actually shifts it.
One thing that genuinely helped me, and it sounds almost too simple, is I started asking myself one question when I noticed I was feeling off after scrolling.
What's the question?
What's the question? What do I actually know about this person? Like, I would genuinely stop and think, okay, I have one image. What do I actually know? And the answer was almost always, almost nothing. I made up a story. I filled in all the gaps, and then I felt bad about not matching a story I invented.
You felt bad about a fiction.
A fiction I wrote myself, which is kind of wild when you say it out loud.
It's very wild. But that's what our brains do. We're storytelling machines. Incomplete information, we fill in the rest. And when we're insecure, we fill it in with theirs is better.
Every time.
So just pausing to ask, wait, what do I actually know here, creates this tiny gap. And in that gap, you can choose a different thought.
Or at least question the automatic one.
Exactly. You don't have to flip to some positive affirmation. You just have to stop treating the story as fact.
Another thing, and this one takes a bit more commitment, is actually curating what you follow.
Yes, this is huge, and people underestimate it.
Your feed is not random. You built it, and you can rebuild it. If there are accounts that consistently, every time you see them, leave you feeling smaller, unfollow. Even if it's someone you kind of know.
Your mental peace is worth more than the awkwardness of unfollowing someone.
Completely worth it. And replace them with things that actually add something, that teach you something or inspire you in a way that makes you feel capable, not in a way that makes you feel inferior.
There's a real difference between content that lifts you and content that makes you feel like you're losing. You know the difference in your body. One makes you go, I want to do that. The other makes you go, I could never.
And pay attention to that. That's data.
That's real data about what that content is doing to you. One more thing that helped me personally, and someone actually rolled their eyes when I suggested this and then came back later and said it worked, is tracking small wins, like daily.
The wins journal thing.
Not in a big structured way, just end of the day, write down 1 or 2 things you actually did that moved your life forward, even tiny things.
Because when you're in comparison mode, your whole brain is focused on the gap. What you don't have, where you're not yet, what everyone else seems to be doing that you're not.
And the small wins practice just forces you to look the other direction. What did I do today? What's actually happening in my life?
Because your life is happening. It's just not getting your attention.
It's not getting your attention because Instagram has it.
Give your own life some attention.
Be a fan of your own story, even when it's in chapter 3 and nothing dramatic has happened yet.
Chapter 3. I like that.
Because everyone's at different chapters, and Instagram makes you feel like everyone else is at the climax and you're still in the setup.
But the setup is necessary. You can't skip to the climax. The setup is what makes the payoff mean something.
And your setup is yours. Your timing is yours. And nobody else's timeline gets to define whether you're on track.
My dad actually said something to me when I was younger that I didn't understand then, but I think about a lot now.
What did he say?
He said, "Don't look left or right. Look ahead."
Simple.
But I think what he meant, and what I understand now, is that the moment you start measuring your path by where someone else is standing, you've lost your own direction. You're running their race now. And you can't win someone else's race.
You can only run your own.
Only your own. And honestly, your race is the only one that was ever available to you.
And I think that's the reframe that actually changes things. It's not about ignoring everyone else or pretending the world doesn't exist. It's just about coming back to, what is my race? What does winning look like for me, not for the feed? For me.
And when you know that, the comparison loses its grip because you're measuring by a different ruler.
Your own ruler. I want to say something to anyone who's listening right now and recognizing themselves in this.
Yeah.
You haven't fallen behind. You're not losing. You're just living a real life in a world full of edited ones. And real life, messy, uncertain, full of the in-between, that's not failure. That's just what it actually looks like.
The unedited version isn't the lesser version. It's the actual version.
Your life isn't boring. It's just not edited yet.
Not edited yet.
And maybe it doesn't need to be. Don't look at someone else's curated feed and let it convince you that your real life isn't enough. Because it is. The struggle is real. The small steps are real. The days you kept going even when it was hard, those are real. They count even when they're not posted.
Even when there are 0 likes on a day that was genuinely hard and genuinely yours.
It still counts.
That was a really good conversation, Elena.
Yeah, I feel like this is something so many people are carrying quietly, and maybe hearing it named today helps a little.
I hope so. And if you're listening, try one thing. Just one. Unfollow one account that makes you feel small, or write down one win tonight. Just one step.
One step is enough to start. Thank you for spending this time with us today. We'll see you in the next conversation.
Take care of yourselves.
And remember, your real life is enough. It always was.